Hey there, my fellow base builders, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, episode 24, Organize. This is, definitely molten. I do like working throughout the night, when I'm able, so that, because there's really not an advantage to sleep, unless you need the sunlight, so I just worked. I mean, it's 3 in the morning and it's already let out. Keeps you productive, working towards the winter. Alright, I had cattails in here. Oh well. What's the best tool to get to harvest a skep? I don't even remember. And there's also a chance the bees attack you, but like, I could take a little bit of damage. And if you don't want to get attacked, there is a, what is it called, a dummy? Straw dummy that you can make? Where the bees will attack the straw dummy instead of you, as like bait. I forget. Is it an axe? I don't think it will tell me. Axe, knife. I'll do knife. Yeah, there we go. So I have now 3 pieces of honeycomb. But I've destroyed that skep. And the bees that were in it. So I am putting the empty skep down. And what's going to happen is the bees adjacent to it will then swarm and populate it back. And I got some of the cattails back from that. So I have 1 cattail shy of a spare skep. In fact, let's just make a 4th skep while I'm at it. It's gonna be easy to do. You always manage to piss off your bees. Yeah, I don't know what the percent chance is, but like, they do get pissed from time to time. It's just it's a little annoying. You'll lose a little bit of health, but it's nowhere near going to be like you died. You know, it's very light damage. Now that I have honey, my inclination is to use the honey to start to preserve fruit. But that's not my current priority. The advantage of honey is it's, you can eat it, and it's a food source that never goes bad. Like fat, animal fat's the same way. There's just a lot better things to do with honey or animal fat than, like, eat it raw. Alright, so there's some spare stuff. Cool. I forget what I was going to do to the ingot. Well, it's too hard to be worked. I'll stick it there. Well, I'm going to forget it's there. I'll stick it in one of these boxes. Okay, some more storage. Here's the different things that we can build. We can build shelves. And the advantage of shelves is you can store multiple things in one, like, 1 by 1 by 1 cube shape. So what I want to do is I want to make some crocks for this room here and some extra storage vessels so that I can store more food to keep it better for longer. And then shelves to store crocks on it. Because crocks, if you process things, like if you make pickled, let's say you pickle some vegetables with salt, or you make jam with your fruit, if you put it in a crock and seal the crock with beeswax, it will keep for much longer, and that will allow you to then put it in your cellar and have it not spoil for a very, very long time. So it's hugely in your advantage to store your food in sealed crocks when you want it to last a long time. So if you don't want to last a long time, the cheap way is to put it in a storage vessel. So as you can see, like, the carrots that I just harvested are fresh for 104 days. I think a year is 108 days in the game, something like that. So these are fresh for about a year. But you can stretch that way longer by... So for meat, you can salt it. For vegetables, you can pickle it. For fruit, you can jam. And a lot of those things can end up in crocks and keep for just a very long time. Okay, so let's do some pit killing for storage vessels. Because one storage vessel is not enough. So let's make 3 storage vessels and like 4 crocs. Something like that. Zealot, thank you for the resub. So one of the things I do pretty early on in the game for winter prep is to start processing my berries. My berries into fruit preserves, because things like grain keep in food cellars very, very long. Like grain, you pretty much don't even need to preserve. You can grain alone. Well, here, let me actually give you functional numbers. Grain alone will keep for, like, years, and then you can wait until it's about to spoil and then grind it into flour, which will keep for years. Actually, I don't think it's true. I think it inherits its spoilage, but, like, this spelt grain keeps for 6 years. So it's, like, not urgent that I use it or do anything with it, because 6 years is a long time. And then root vegetables and mushrooms and things like that keep pretty long as well. Not quite as long, but like pretty decently. But fruit spoils quickly. Same with meat. Meat you can still find in the winter, you know, if you hunt or whatever. But fruit won't be available to you in the winter unless you're like growing it yourself. Which means it's really important for you to preserve fruit if you want to be able to fill up your nutrition for fruit during wintertime. So that's why as soon as I have the capabilities of like getting a cellar and you know, and making a fruit press and preserving fruit with honey from being a beekeeper, like I do that because it's gonna pay off massively in the long run. If you care about min-maxing your food. With that said, I am completely missing my dairy nutrition because I haven't tried to tame sheep. At some point, that's probably going to be worth doing, but because sheep require, and this is true of like, you know, well, I'll just talk about sheep because sheep require like some attention. You know, you have to keep them fed regularly, etc. It's enough time investment, I feel like, early in the game that like you're at a bit of a disadvantage if you try to tame sheep real early because you're going to spend so much time feeding them, that you're not going to make progress on other important things. Or you can manage it, but like if you're a new player, you're probably better off not doing it. Plus, sheep ram you for a lot of damage. So it's also, until you have armor, you're going to run into a situation where in trying to tame sheep, you will take damage, and then in order to heal, you'll be hungrier. So like until you have tier 2 armor, sheep are also going to deplete your food. Unless you're very, very careful and or lucky not getting rammed by them. Because the way animal domestication works is each generation is more tame than the previous generation. And then I think for sheep, it's generation 4, where they're not going to try to like outwardly murder you constantly. But like they're always kind of ornery creatures anyway. Whereas like, you know, my point being, your 4th generation of sheep isn't going to happen very quickly. So, like, your time's probably better spent, at least on year 1, like, feeding yourself. Just my 2 cents. Of course, this is all opinion. I think it's important to note. It's like, this is just my opinion about it. But, so my opinion is, like, animal taming is probably best weighted to do year 2. Same with fruit tree vernalization. That's also a kind of a year 2 type of thing to do. Unless you're very hyper-productive in your year 1. True, you don't need to feed domestic animals, you only need to feed them to induce mating. My point is, if you're doing it for dairy, they need to be lactating. So like sheep only lactate for, 20 days after they give birth? So if you want dairy as part of your nutrition, you kind of need to keep them fed and bulked up so they can mate. Because there's no, in my opinion, there's not much point in taming sheep unless you're doing it for the milk. Because there's a lot easier ways to get meat, like digging a pit and capturing bunnies, for instance. What are the ramifications of lack of variety of food? You lose hit points. You lose max health. Your health points is based upon fulfilling all your nutrition. So the more nourished you are, the tankier you are. So if you, for instance, in the winter, like only fulfill your protein, your max health is going to be like, I don't know, like 15 or, very low. I don't exactly know the numbers, but it won't be good. You'll be frail. There are no cows in the game. There's only sheep for dairy. There are chickens that you could domesticate and pigs. Pigs are really only for like leather and meat, and then chickens are for eggs, which is... Eggs are meat, right? Maybe eggs are dairy. I don't know what eggs are. Alright, so we did the 3 storage vessels that'll fire soon, but then I also wanted crocs. Just sit on the ground. It's really a lot easier. Hold left alt. G is sit, and left alt allows you to go into cursor mode, so as to not look around. You can just click. And sitting just makes me closer to the thing. Oops. There we go. Duplicate layer. All right, we got everything that I wanted to fire up. So, pit kilns. These are going to be temporary. Eventually, I plan on having like a proper pit kiln area in the base, but I can't be bothered to do that right now. I'm not going to build an entire room for one little run. So the jars are called crocks, and they're really useful for preserving food long term when they're sealed with wax. Actually, there would be a good reason to have gravel in these spots. But I got rid of my gravel, because gravel would allow you to plop these down as terrain blockers and not lose it. Okay. Grass time. I need 40 grass. It's funny, I mentioned that about the gravel, and I'm literally surrounded by gravel, but I didn't bother digging it up. Like my base is next to a gravel field. So one of the reasons why I settled here is it's next to a gravel field, next to lakes, next to plains, next to forest. There's snow not too far off, as you can see up there. There is a tool that does this better, a scythe, that I can forge at some point. And yeah, there's different biomes further away, yeah. There are hotter ones and cooler ones. Next thing I wanted was my peat. There we go. Yeah, there aren't biomes per se like Minecraft does it. Exactly. They're different than Minecraft biomes, but there is definitely tropics, Arctics, and temperates. Oh, yeah. Why did I grab peat? I need my twigs first. Very uplifting music. It's very happy that I'm doing pottery, clearly. There goes all of my lovely twig supply that I had. I thought you could do this with 4 peat, but it looks like I'm covering it up with, Am I wrong? I'll wait for you guys to chime in. I thought it only required, storage vessels. Okay. I don't have my torch on me. So the storage vessels are just a little different. Got it. Wait, where'd my other torch? Oh, did I leave it out here? Yeah, there it is. Nice. So we got that going for more storage. The other thing I want to do storage on is the copper bar for the scraps of stuff. So I'll do that next. So in terms of labels, a trunk or a chest can be labeled, right? Chests can be labeled, but trunks can't, I think is the case. In order to do that, I need parchment, which would be a scraped hide, which means I would need like a lime or borax wash. Alternatively, I could just remember what goes where. That's why I like purpose-built rooms, because it doesn't require parchment. Like if I have a leatherworking room, I know that the boxes in there are going to have pelts and leather and borax and lime and stuff like that. Would building home improvements include terraforming? Yes. Yeah, at some point I'll terraform around. I've just been not bothering to do that because it's a lot of labor and it doesn't actually progress any specific goals that I have at the moment. But like that's definitely something I would do eventually. You want me to fix the uptime? All right. I clearly did that wrong. There. Uptime's correct. Nails and strips. This is one of those projects like don't make a mistake because there's not a lot of room for error. And my character got super hungry all of a sudden. Holy hell. I've probably been hungry this whole time, it just simply didn't notice. This raw meat, I am going to throw into the to-be-rotted pile. The berries are, like, probably too far gone to bother jamming them. But I'm so surrounded by berries kind of everywhere around the map, I'm not too concerned about that. I don't have a ton of food tucked away, but something to work on, clearly. Although I do have a farm going. Farm's about... Well, let's check on it. Spelt is 2/3 grown. Onions are... Some of the onions are getting pretty close. Cabbage is not close yet. Some good progress in the grow there. All right, what else was I doing? So the scraps. I want, so here's a label chest. which is a sign plus a wood chest. So I could do some label chests. So let's do some label chests. So let's get a wooden chest, which is nails and scraps plus wood all around it. And I might even need some more wood for that, because I don't have a lot of boards. So I'm going to burn through my flint axes first. Am I going to attempt bread making? The things I work on are largely left up to polling, so... Yes, if it's voted on. That's going to be my answer kind of for everything. Am I going to do X? Yes, if it's voted on. Bread making is actually rather easy. I have, like, all I would need to do... I already have fire clay, so all I would need to do for bread making is to make some fire clay bricks, and that's it, for the most part, which would be very easy. Because I already have a quern. I'm not a huge fan of having to run the quern by hand, but, you know, in a pinch. Alright, so I was making chests, and I have these scraps perfect. There's 4 more chests. And for now, I can also just put my chests, like, in here, which is weird, but, like, I mean, it's climate controlled. Why not? If it comes to that. So then the other thing I wanted was signs. And I think for signs I'm going to need... Actually, I have exactly as many stick... Well, one more stick than I need. We'll get some signs in. We'll do pine signs. Okay, so we got ourselves some labeled chests. Tools away. Then if we want to actually write on it, I need some charcoal. And now we can start to label things. So we can put these down. Like that. And say like ores. Ta-da! And then clay, wood, and what else do I have a lot of? Gotta look at gems? Yeah, I'll do gems. Ta-da! Nice and organized. Now the chests obviously don't store as much as a trunk. Trunks are really great at that, but that should help a bit. So let's get my ores out and gems, and we can start putting it away where they belong, and then it will help our organization. Once I have purpose-built rooms, it will be a lot easier, because then I can have, you know, these things all in one, you know, all my ores and my charcoal in one spot, and that will get a lot easier. But at least now, I can pull out a lot of the contents out of these chests. I'll put quartz in gems for now. It's kind of like a gemstone, sort of. At least in my head it can be. And that's what matters. Clay. I can even put, like, twigs in the wood box. So the wood box can be, like, firewood, twigs. I even put dry grass, just like flammables. I could have named it flammables, but whatever. Boards, fence pines, etc. And this should help me keep track of things a little bit better. It would make more sense if they were all in the same room, or in the room I'm currently in, but I can always move these boxes around. That's not much of a problem. So, a little bit of organization. Let's go check on the charcoal. See if it's still sizzling, because I don't have a ton of time left. So in this box here, I can start to organize it where this is just like pelts and armor stuff. And maybe fabric stuff as well. So I'll have my linen in there, my pelts in there. And then this other box can just be the catch-all of just like whatever. I'll even put gears in the top right corner here. Precious. Although one could make the argument that, like, gems and coins, like gears, kind of go all the same. Let's put the lamellae, spare lamellae in there. And then... yeah, we're good. Put the coal in there, too. Just up there. Just slightly more organized. It's better than it was, at least. Oh, I'm holding my candle. I forget how long it's been since I started the charcoal. It's probably not done yet. Finish painting the bony soil? I could. I do want to check on the charcoal, because now that I have, like, a charcoal box, albeit not a labeled box, a crate, rather. I can store a ton in there. I can hear some pretty loud dad-dads from the other room. They're very cute. Can my kid tell time? Does he now know? 7 o'clock. Dad-ass coming. Okay, now I can hear upset noises. I don't see... I think it's done. Hold on, let me get a better look, because you don't want to crack into this early. Yeah, it's definitely not outgassing. Or whatever, it's not flickering, so... Ta-da! I'm gonna break my shovel, aren't I? Charcoal's one of those things, like, you're always gonna need it, and it's always pretty labor intensive. I mean, that's not exactly true, because you can definitely hit veins of like anthracite or black coal and fulfill your need for charcoal. But my 2 cents, like the amount of time it would take me to go look for that. I mean, now that I have armor, that might not be true. I can spelunk into caves. Oh, alright, I'm punching this stuff then. Do I not get resources when I punch? Fine. But, yeah, now that I have armor, I can go into caves and try to find myself some you know, cave coal, but making charcoal's you're guaranteed to get charcoal once you make it. Whereas going into caves, you're certainly not guaranteed to get anything. Cool. I'll leave the rest of the soil here for future burns. I'm also rather low on peat because of the kilns that I queued up. As I'm sure you've now noticed, peat is just a really nice fuel source for like cooking. Because it's so easy to obtain in high quantities, and you don't have to really work for it. Whereas with for everything else, you know, it's firewood is more labor intensive. Charcoal certainly very labor intensive. Crimson Rust, thanks for gifting out a sub. So I like to keep a stack of peat next to my my fires that I cook on. Peat's not a compatible material for like forging and the like. You can warm a crucible up, but definitely not forging. But yeah, now there's 107 charcoal in that box. Nice. Well, I think that I am out of time, but made some good progress. Just to reiterate what we managed to do. We started off getting some more copper for bronze, and we managed to make an entire set of bronze armor. We set ourselves up a lovely little flower apiary on the roof of our food cellar and harvested the first honey and wax from that. Farm's going strong. We have the entire set of bronze armor complete also with the bronze shield, so we're combat ready. I don't really have any bandages, but I could get cattails and horsetail and make some bandages. We did a little bit of organization, got things tidied up, got a lot more bronze tools and stuff. I would say the one thing we're weak on is food source, but it's rather easy enough to hunt. And then also started the compost, making actual compost. In fact, I might have enough rot. Yeah, you know what? The last thing I'm gonna do here. Oh, I don't even have the sticks, do I? Yeah, I don't even have the sticks to make a barrel. I was gonna make another barrel of compost, but no. That will have to wait for another time. And that, my friends, is where I'm gonna leave off. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch, November 24th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.